Dear students, welcome to your new chapter. That is chapter number 11 by name pointers. So, we have already discussed about pointers in data structures. In our fourth chapter, data structures, while classifying the data structures, among those classifications, pointer is a type of classification. There we have discussed a little bit regarding pointers, but in this chapter number 11, we are going to discuss in detail about pointers, what actually mean a pointer and how pointer can be used in a program and what are the uses of these pointers we are going to discuss. Before going to the chapter, in general we will discuss something. How a pointer can be used. What is the use of a pointer? While writing a program, you have already know that before using any variable in a program, okay, we need to declare that variable. Just like you will declare int a, b or sum or float x, y, like that you will declare the variable before using those variables inside the program. Okay? Here, by using pointers, if we want to store those variables in a particular memory location. Look here. Think these are the memory locations having address 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004. Then you are having variables x and y, and you want to store these two variables in the memory. Then for this thing, you want to store x in 1002, x here, and y in this case. Then what the pointer will do? The pointer will reserve these memory locations for these variables. Okay? How it will reserve? By saving its address. With the help of address, pointer will reserve the memory locations which you have to use to store the variables. So this is the usage of the pointers. Okay, pointers are used to keep ready the memory locations for storing the variables. Now come to the point. That is pointers. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about pointers. So what is meant by pointer? A pointer is a variable. It is also a variable. Okay. A pointer is a variable that holds the memory. A pointer is a variable that holds the memory address. Okay, it will hold the memory address. A pointer is a variable that holds the memory address, usually the location of another variable in memory. Usually the location of another variable in memory. So this is called as a pointer. Itself is a variable. Okay, and it will hold the memory address, which I have shown you here. It holds the memory address, usually the location of another variable in memory. Okay, the location of other variable. Okay, in the memory it will keep holding. Okay, now we are going to see what are the advantages of this pointers. Okay, advantages of pointers. Advantages of pointers. See here, pointers is a powerful concept in C++. Okay, it is a powerful concept in C++. Then the advantages are okay, what are the advantages of this pointer? Okay, this can be called as a powerful concept in C++. And now we are going to discuss about the advantages. The first one is it is possible to write efficient program. It is possible to write efficient program. Okay, how much and what type of program we need to write? With the help of pointers, we can write that type of an efficient program. So this is one of the advantages of pointers. And then next one, memory is utilized properly. Memory is utilized properly. Memory can be utilized properly. It means if you want to store the variable in particular memory location, then with the help of pointer we can store that variable in the same location where we want to store. So this is called as memory utilization. Okay, memory is utilized properly. This is the second advantage of pointers. And the third one is dynamically allocate and deallocate memory dynamically. Okay, we can, if you want to allocate and if you want to deallocate memory, with the help of pointers we can easily do the allocation and deallocation of memory. Allocation means setting. This memory is needed for this type of variable, and we are storing that variable in the memory location. If you want to delete the variables from the memory location, that we don't want this memory location for this variable, then that memory location, from that memory location, the variables can be removed and they can be shifted to some other memory location. This is called allocation and deallocation of memory. It is done dynamically, very clearly. Allocation and deallocation of memory can be done. This is the third advantage of pointers. And next one, easy to deal with. Easy to deal with hardware components. Easy to deal with hardware components. With the computer hardware components, okay, with the help of pointers, we can deal easily. Just like keyboard, mouse, monitor, okay, printer, speaker, these are the components of a computer. Just like CPU, motherboard, ALU, CPU, MU, and different memories, RAM and secondary memory, these are the components of a computer. So they are called as hardware components. With the help of pointers, okay, we can deal easily with the hardware components. So this is the fourth advantage of pointers. And the last one is establishes communication between program and data. Okay, this will establish, it means pointers will establish a communication between program and data. It means it will provide a link between the data and a program. If you are writing a program, okay, and if you want to add some data to the program, then with the help of these pointers we can add that data to the program. Okay, this is called as establishing communication between program and data. A link will be provided between program and data with the help of pointers. And next we are going to discuss about the memory utilization of pointers. Just now we have discussed in data structures, that is memory utilization of arrays, memory representation of stacks, memory representation of queues. The same way here, memory representation of pointers. So now we are going to discuss about the memory representation of pointers. How memory can be represented. Memory is organized in the form of bytes. You know, bits and bytes. So here, this is the important question. That is, memory is organized as an array of bytes. Memory can be organized as an array of bytes. And then a byte is a basic storage and accessible unit in memory. Based on bits and bytes only, the memory will be calculated. Okay, the same way here, byte is a basic and accessible unit of memory. And if you take example, each byte is identifiable. Okay, each byte is identifiable by a unique number card address. Each byte is identifiable by a unique number card address. Look here, address is there, then location is there. See, these locations, think them as bytes. 1 byte, 2 bytes, 3rd byte, 4th byte, like that. These are all the bytes. And each byte is identifiable by a unique number card address. Okay, now take one example. That is, we have 1 KB of memory. That think that we are writing a program of 1 KB of memory. And since we have 1 KB of memory, so 1 KB is equal to 1024 bytes. 1 kilobyte. KB means kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. 1024 bytes will become 1 kilobyte. Now we need to store all these 1024 bytes in a memory. So here what will happen? It can be stored as an array of locations, just like what I have written here. Okay, it is of size 1024. Okay, say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and many are there, like that 1022 and 1023. So here we are taking 1024 bytes, but the last location is 1023 because here we have taken from 0. We have started it from 0. So for this thing, the last location will become 1023 with the subscript range 0 to 23 that I have shown. Then 0 represents the address of the first location. Okay, 0 represents address of first location, 1 represents address of second location, 2 represents address of third location, 3 represents the address of fourth location, and so on. And finally 1023 represents the address of last location. Like this, we can represent a memory in the pointers. That is here 1 byte. Okay, then 1 byte. Like this, 1024 bytes are divided 1 byte. Okay, and finally this will also store one byte and it will become finally just like 1 byte, 1 byte, 1 byte. Bytes are divided in the locations. So here then finally 1023rd address will locate the last byte of a memory. Like this, the memory representation of a pointers can be done. Now you are familiar about pointer, its advantages and its memory representation. Now how can we declare or define a pointer? Declaration and initialization of pointer. Declaration and initialization of pointers. How can we declare a pointers? Now I am going to write a general syntax of a pointers. Okay. Then after that I will give you the example. The general form is look here. General form looks like this. Data type. Okay. After that, put a asterisk mark. Asterisk. Then variable name. Okay. See here no space is there. You don't get confused. See. Space should not be given here. After data type you can use space, then star variable. This should not be called as star. This is called as asterisk. Okay, don't call this as star, call this as asterisk. Data type asterisk variable. Okay, what is data type? Data type is any data type. Any data type accepted by C++, any data type supported by C++. Data types we have discussed: int, char, float, double. These are the data types. Okay, supported by C++ or maybe or any user defined data type also can be taken. Any user defined data type. Okay, this data type is, it may be any data type which is supported by C++ or any user defined data type. And also variable name. Variable name is the name of a pointer variable. Name of a pointer variable. Variable name is the name of a pointer variable. And how can we understand that the variable is a pointer variable? Here, the presence of asterisk, that is asterisk, okay, indicates the variable is a pointer variable. The variable is a pointer variable. If you get a question regarding the declaration or initialization of pointer variable, then you need to write these things. Okay. Here, the presence of star indicates it is a pointer variable. Now I will give you example. From my side, I am giving example. Take data type as integer. Okay, data type as integer. Then pointer, take it as PUC. Or take float, a pointer, then PUC. This asterisk indicates that the variable is a pointer variable. Then in this chapter we are going to learn how these pointers are used inside the program. Okay, hope you have understood. Or char star, this cannot be called a star, asterisk PUC. Say data type, then pointer variable, then data type is float, pointer variable, data type is char, pointer variable name. Like this we can declare the pointer variable. Now we are going to discuss about declaration of pointer variable. Declaration of pointer variable. How can we declare a pointer variable? Now I will give you some examples. Int asterisk IPTR, then float asterisk FPTR, then char asterisk CPTR. Like this we have to declare the variable. So I am going to write its declaration, then you will understand. So here IPTR is declared, okay, to be the pointer variable, of data type, that is integer of data type, or it can be taken as pointer variable of which data type? Int data type. Okay, then float FPTR. Okay, is declared to be, okay, what? The pointer variable of what type? Okay, here int PTR is declared to be the point variable of int data type. Then float PTR, that is FPTR, is declared to be the pointer variable of float data type. Okay. Then similarly, char, that is CPTR, is declared to be the pointer variable of char data type. Hope you have understood. Okay, it is a pointer variable of integer data type. FPTR is a pointer variable of float data type, and CPTR is a pointer variable of characters data type. So far we have discussed defining a pointer variable. How can we define a pointer variable? Now we are going to discuss assigning a pointer variable, that is pointer variable assignment. How can we assign a pointer variable? Assigning means given value is to be assigned to the pointer here. Okay. Take an integer data type which is having number that is equal to 25, and we need to assign this value to a pointer variable. Okay. Now take pointer variable as int IPTR. Okay, pointer should be always taken with asterisk, right? Yes, pointer variable should be always taken with asterisk. Then now we have to define this value to the pointer. Here we need to declare IPTR. Okay, then after that, which is equal to ampersand sign, then none. Like this, we have to define the pointer variable. This is not and sign. Okay, this can be called as ampersand. Okay, ampersand sign. This sign is called as ampersand sign. If you use ampersand, okay, this operator, ampersand operator, is called as address of operator. Address of operator. Later we will discuss in the same chapter regarding address of operator. So here PTR is equal to address of num. It means num is located in 25. Here address of num means pointer is assigned to with the value of number, that is 25, is assigned to the pointer. Like this we have to assign a pointer variable. And next topics we are going to discuss in our next class. If you have doubts about today's class, you can ask me personally. Thank you.